Shalom and welcome to 2 Minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Parshat Vayakhail, the danger and beauty of intuition. I have two fascinating Rashis, both based on the Midrashim in Parsha Vayakhail, that talk about the mistakes that leaders have made. The Nesiim, they went ahead and they offered to Bnei Israel that they should give everything that they want to the Mishkan. And they said, Moshe, we'll cover the shortfall. Sounds like a magnanimous offer. Any head of a shul, yeshiva, mikveh, any stock organization would jump for such an offer. Everyone should give the money, and then the backers will finish it up. And yet we see that a letter was left out from the name. It's written Nesiim without the yud to show that they were wrong. Atzlanim, Rashi says, lazy. Certainly has to be analyzed what exactly that mistake was, but that's not for now. But the simple point is that great people, their initial feeling, intuition about what would be the right action was wrong, and they're criticized for it. Moshe also, at the end of the Parsha, the woman bring the marot, the mirrors for the Mishkan, and Moshe's reaction is, Miyos, is not appropriate in any way for the Mishkan. Mirrors for women to make themselves look beautiful for the husband, very, very nice. The place is in the bedroom. That's it. And certainly should not be brought into the Mishkan. And what does God say? On the contrary, this is the most beloved donation of all to the Mishkan. We're not going to analyze what Moshe was originally thinking and what God told him to do in the end. But the main point is that Moshe's initial reaction, I'm sure it was with the Svara, and it was an idea that Moshe had, it was wrong. God paskined, of course, against him. So the simple point I'd like to make here, that often our intuition, even the intuition of great, great people, first reaction to a topic could be dead wrong. And it is so crucial that when we have an intuition, whether it's to another person, whether it's to a halacha, whether it's to a hashkafa, a certain philosophical point, whether it's to analyze the situation, we all have our gut feeling, our intuition. And we just know and feel this is right. To me, it is absolutely essential that we are able to separate between intuition and a conclusion. So we go ahead. A young man goes out with a woman, and he just has this feeling, this intuition. She's the right one for me. They met for an hour. I just know it. I just feel it. This is it. She's my intuition. He has to be able to go ahead and say, I know this is my intuition, and it may or may not be accurate. Let me explore the topic. And conversely, go out, and he says, oh, no, not for me. But he's talking it over with the shadchan, the shadchanit, or with his friends, or with his rebbe, or his parents. Nothing specific really knocks out the shidduch, and they encourage him to go out again. Then my intuition is not right for me. He has to be able to stop and assess and say, yes, my intuition is that she's not the right one for me, but maybe that's not emes. Maybe it's not true. Now they analyze the topic more, go out a few more times, and look into it. And this is the approach that one has to have to know intuition. It may be right. It may be hitting on something very deep that my conscious mind doesn't pick up on. And let me explore it more to see, to verify. But let me also be concerned with the possibility that it's dead wrong. And to me, this approach is crucial when we approach all areas. A person can have certain halachic intuition about what the halacha should be in this case. Unless you have clear proof of it, investigate the topic, talk to a posek. We mentioned that example. The state of Israel, people are going to have their intuitions. It's the greatest bracha of all time. It's the beginning of the redemption. Could be. Investigate it. The state of Israel is the worst horror. It's a chil Hashem. None from people running it and not going according to law. This is terrible. This is a curse. This is a klala. That's your intuition. Now let's investigate. Based on Chachma, Bina, and Dat, with true, proper, healthy analysis. And if the two giants of our Parsha, the group of the Nesiim, and Moshe, their original thought was not 100%, not to compare their intuition to ours, of course, but they each had a shita that was probably more developed than our intuition, so I don't want to make the example 100% accurate. accurate, but the idea that their initial thought was not 100% is just a lesson I'd like to take to us for our Parsha and for our use, to understand that we should respect our intuitive faculty and give it its proper place as a part of us that may or may not be assessing reality accurately, and we should look into it further. Shalom.